Dragons, fire-breathing winged creatures who ruled the sky and guarded some treasures. Some of them kidnapped princesses and prevented the knights from saving them. Are dragons real? Today we are simply going to answer this question and go back to where did the word dragon come from? When did this legend start? Let's go. Hi everyone, and welcome back to a new YouTube video on my channel, and today we are talking about dragons. Sarah, it's just another childish topic. How can you do that and not be embarrassed? Well, I'm not, because a couple of days ago I went to watch the live action How to Train Your Dragon, and mind you what, for the people who know me, since middle school I've been the biggest How to Train Your Dragon fan. And when I heard there would be a live action, I had some issues with the casting of certain people, and I was so worried they would pull off a Sonic the Hedgehog move and they would try to make very realistic creatures. But apparently the dragons, most of them were okay. The people did still hate on some of the casting. They did not like them. But for me, I have nothing to hate. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I cannot wait for 2 more in the 4 years that are yet to come. And I remember all the way home, the only thing I was thinking about is dragons. Like, did the human being wake up one day and decide that dragons are real? I literally had this conversation with myself. I'll try to sort of like let you understand what I was going through. Do dragons really exist? What do you mean, do dragons really exist? Like, literally, do they exist? Did they exist at some point? Dragons are just a legend. Hello, did you hit your head? No, I did not, but I was just thinking, if dinosaurs, flying dinosaurs existed, just fire breathing could be possible at some point. Honestly, I'm speechless. My whole life I've been thinking that's not a possibility. Has that been proven scientifically? I don't know. I will go and search it up on the internet and make a YouTube video about it if I find any interesting information. That's literally what happened. So I remember I came home, I was under my blanket on my phone and I was just searching about dragons. Like, when did it start? How did it start? How does the legend look like? Like, is it possible to have a fire-breathing creature? And I have some crazy, interesting information ready just for you. So I would consider subscribing if I were you. So please, subscribe. Also, you'd have known that I went to watch the live-action How to Train Your Dragon movie if you follow me on TikTok or Instagram, which I'm sure you don't. And I'm mad right now. No, I'm not. I'll still share the cool information with you. Let's start. I'm so excited. So first things first, what is a dragon? So dragon is a huge reptile that is able to fly, so they have wings, and they breathe fire. This is the part where it gets interesting. So there are a lot of legends about dragons. Some people say they were wise and they were guarding the treasures. Some people say they were like evil, they would destroy villages and want sacrifices. Humans all across the world came up with legends about the same creature. No connection at all. It felt like the dragons of Europe were different from the dragons of the Middle East, were different from the dragons that existed in Asia, which is interesting. So the word dragon existed first in Greek as drakon, and then moved to French dragon, and finally entered the English dictionary in the 13th century. In ancient Greek myths, drakon meant the giant serpent who would usually guard treasures. So the question was, why did the dragon legend start? And I found some interesting answers on the internet that I'm going to share with you. The first one was very convincing, which are the fossils. Like, imagine this, you and I were farmers in the 12th, 13th century something, and we have a farm. You and me, we have a farm. Isn't that cool? Right. So we're trying to dig into our own land for any reason. We want to bury a body or whatever, and we find fossils like bones and stuff of certain creature, and maybe it belonged to a dinosaur. Most likely it belonged to a winged dinosaur. And you and me, we've never seen a dinosaur before. We don't know they exist, so we create dragons because it's more convenient for you and me, and we're gonna look cool to everyone else. And whoever added the fire breathing thingy, I want to thank you very, very much, because I'm not sure. We haven't answered the question yet. Are dragons real or not? Did they ever exist? We're not sure, but for sure that man's imagination still lives among us, which is very, very interesting. The second answer, it might seem weird, but at the time, a lot of human beings did not know what was the reason behind all, the storms, let's say volcanoes, earthquakes. They just didn't know what was the reason behind these things happening. And they'd always refer to it that, oh, that creature causes that creature causes that. And when they created dragons, they blamed it all on them because it was easy. I mean, that's a giant fire-breathing creature. You're telling me they wouldn't be behind every single earth movement that happens? They are. We can blame them. And the final reason I found was in Carl Jung's book. I feel like he mentioned something interesting. I'm gonna try to read what he said. Carl Jung believed that dragons were part of universal archetype. They were a symbol of our deepest fear to conquer. It makes sense when you find something that you don't know and it's literally huge, and it could be the reason behind all the distractions you've been through. Why would you think it's a good thing? Why would you think it's a good creature while you can just blame stuff on it? I know it's a very hard logic to get, but if you put yourself in the person's shoe, like you lived thousands and thousands of years ago, you don't even know basic knowledge that you know nowadays. If you find this creature, you will just blame stuff on it and explain things. Dragons. So honestly, I'm not sure, but I agree with most of these answers. I'm not sure if one of them was the one that started the story, but sadly we don't know exactly when the dragon story started. But I can share with you some interesting beliefs from across the world. In China, dragons are viewed as wise, powerful, and also they bring rain. And dragons are mostly described as giant serpents. They don't have wings, but they still can fly. The emperors at the time were called sons of dragons, and that was like a great title for them. It symbolizes power, strength, and good fortune. Interesting. I always, whenever I watch a Chinese-based movie, I always see the dragon with no wings, and I didn't think much of it, but in my mind I knew it was a dragon. So it's weird. It's interesting how we knew that they are dragons, even though they don't have wings, and they look slightly different from toothless, obviously. But I mean, let me think of times when I saw this movie. I don't remember its name, but it has a pink dragon. There is another anime, very, very known, Dragon Ball Z. They have the green dragon. It's unwinged. And there is Shanti. There's also a dragon in here. I feel like the water dragon. I don't remember the movie very well. But if I'm not wrong, there was a similar dragon to the ones described in China's legends. Let's move to Europe, where dragons had completely different descriptions in the legends. In Europe, dragons were feared. These giant, evil, fire-breathing creatures would literally torment people, destroy villages, and the strongest knights would go and try to fight them and kill them, and obviously bring honor and peace to the villages. There are a lot of stories about dragons who would request human sacrifices for years and years and years, and then there comes a strong knight who would literally kill the dragon, and live happily ever after. And they probably let him marry a princess because he's a hero. He's strong and amazing, just like Shrek. Just kidding, Shrek didn't kill the dragon. She got married to a donkey. That's so weird. There are a lot of stories. The problem is I just cannot find another one about a dragon that is like holding a treasure due to them. And maybe Damsel could be a good example. I'm not sure. There's also the dragon in The Hobbit, maybe. Oh, by the way, I forgot something. In China, how did I not mention Mushu in Mulan? Mushu, her sidekick, he is a dragon and he looks like the ones described in China because he's from China. You know, Mulan, General Shang, and Saving China. Yeah. And in a lot of cultures, dragons were thought of as the creatures who created the whole world. They were literally gods. People would worship them. I mean, the human logic is sort of like different right now, but I feel like thousands of years ago, if human beings would encounter a new creature, new sort of like power, they would literally worship it, which is weird, may I say, especially that it's just another living creature like you. Why would you worship it? You had two choices. Easy ones. Whether you worship it or you eat it. I know, I would have preferred dragons being food than being called gods in some ancient legends. So, would have known what does a dragon taste like. What does it taste like? I don't know. I guess we'll never know. Just because someone decided to worship them and fear them instead of cooking them. You could have cooked a dragon. I'm just kidding. Don't cook dragons. I'm against that. Just kidding. Now the $1 million question. I keep looking there and there's literally a cat in there. I know. That's why I keep looking there. Now the question is, could fire-breathing creatures have ever existed? I can safely say nature has some fire-like defenses creatures, and I could mention 3 that all of us know. First, spitting cobras. They have venom, and they can literally inject you with their venom very, very accurately. Do you think that's normal? It is not. Electric eels. Hello, is it normal that creatures who live under the sea can literally strike you with electricity that could possibly kill you? How is that possible and normalized? And fire-breathing creatures are not possible? You do you, honestly. Now the third one I didn't know of. It's a little insect with a big name and big powers. Let me try to read the name. The name is Bombardier beetles. Bombardier beetles. Okay. This little insect right here can shoot boiling chemicals, and we're talking 100 degrees. And this insect right here, the chemicals are stored inside the body, and you know, when they want to sort of like fire at us or at other creatures, the chemical starts mixing up, something happens, boom, yeah, we're dead. Just kidding. It's a small insect. Couldn't possibly kill a human being by that. I hope not. I'm not sure how accurate that is. And it just gave me hope. So I was reading this and I was like, okay, dragons did exist. But then the science came along as well. Well, theoretically, there is a tiny bit possibility that there are creatures who can be able to sort of like store flammable chemicals inside their bodies. 2 chemical glands producing 2 separate flammable compounds, and then there should be something to sort of like spark and lighten up the flammable items. So it's not as complicated as it is. Like, my description of it is not as complicated as it should be in real life. I'm just trying to make it easy. There needs to be 2 flammable objects separated inside the body, and then something needs to trigger them for the fire to actually be created and lit. Do you think that's possible? Come on, guess in the comments below before I tell you the truth. Is it possible? Is it impossible? Well, the answer is sort of different. It's implausible. You don't know what the word means? I didn't know either a couple of days ago. And it sort of means not likely to happen. Why? I'm gonna tell you why. Storing large quantities of flammable chemicals would definitely destroy the bodies. We're talking, this is a small insect, okay? Dragons are huge, they need bigger quantities, and it could literally kill them. How do I say it nicely? Dragons might not have ever existed on Earth, at least, and that's because the self-damage on them is unbearable. It's rarely to see in the movies that dragons suffer to actually create flames, but I feel like I've seen this in a manga before. I don't remember, but I feel like the idea is there. I heard of it before, whether in a manga or an anime or something, but I feel like there was a dragon who would really, they were literally destroying themselves by using their own fire. Oh, but I was suddenly reminded of Dabi for some reason. I don't know why, but like his flame was literally burning him, and yeah, I just had to bring him up. He's cute. Dragons never really existed as fire-breathing winged creatures who ruled the skies and guarded treasures and destroyed villages. It's just that the idea of them is crazy to me. Like, imagine someone thousands of years ago, they used their imagination to create a creature, and until today, it's still there. It lives among us, especially the people who are super into fantasy. Like, if I'm about to read like a fantasy story or about to watch a movie, if I see a dragon, I'm sold. You have me. I'm gone. Like, I'm gonna read whatever number of pages and I'm gonna watch whatever number of movies or episodes. I feel like dragons, they are amazing creatures. And I have a toothless. Do you want to see my toothless? Say hi, baby. Say hi. So my toothless is literally sleeping. She was sleeping, and I had to wake her up. Doesn't she look amazing? And that's it. Please let me know your thoughts below. Are you disappointed that I have never existed? Honestly, I'm not that disappointed. It just, the beauty of it is still among us. Like, I can still live it in a book or in a movie, and that's pretty much enough. That's pretty much it. Thank you so very much for watching this video till the end. I love you, and I hope you'd leave a comment below. Talk to me, tell me something. I love you so very much. Please stay safe out there. Bye bye.